Werewolf by Night, issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. It says issue number 1, but this is basically a one-shot. And as you can guess by the cover, it is about Jack Russell and Elsa Bloodstone. I'm guessing someone at Marvel Comics realized that, hey, we released a Werewolf by Night short film featuring these two characters, so maybe we should create a comic to kind of cash in on that. Unfortunately, it's been a long time. Like, they're a little bit too late for that. And so, yeah, what can you expect from this issue? You can expect modern day Marvel. Yeah. So the artwork is kind of crap, in my opinion. I'm not really a fan of it. And it just feels very, very lazy. Everything is, I don't want to say black and white. It's brownish and white, whatever color you want to call this, grayish, brownish, white. I don't really like the design for Jack Russell for Werewolf by Night. He doesn't look so much like a werewolf. He looks more kind of like an ape. And all his stuff is in black and white. Meanwhile, everything that deals with Elsa Bloodstone is in color. And I thought, okay, this could be kind of interesting. Only I feel like the black and white doesn't work so much the way it's done here. If you're going to do black and white, then I think you got to go a lot more heavier on the black. You got to go a lot more heavier on the contrast. You got to do more like of a silhouette kind of style. Whereas here, it just feels like doodles. It just feels like you kind of drew the character and then you were too lazy to color it in. It doesn't really feel like you're trying to be stylistic so much as you just didn't want to bother coloring. And so, yeah, we have Jack Russell. He's on this castle that belongs to this guy named Necromantic. What a lame name. And he's basically fighting creatures. Meanwhile, we have Elsa Bloodstone in full color in a private jet. And she is just being very modern day Marvel Joss Whedon speak, but not good Joss Whedon speak, terrible Joss Whedon speak. Like, she just comes across very, very annoying. Very much like, hey, look, I'm a redhead who wears orange. Do you know how difficult that is to pull off? And I'm just kind of like, okay. So we're doing that thing where we point out how weird and comical our characters look and act and stuff. I hate that. I hate that so much. It's like, oh, hey, look, Wolverine's wearing all yellow. Isn't that funny? Ha 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 ha. It's like, or you see like a dude with like a giant mustache, right? It's like a mustache that, like a Fu Manchu mustache, and it comes all the way down to his knees or whatever. And then you have someone else point out like, hey, look at his funny mustache. Look how long it is. Isn't that funny? It would have been a lot better if you just didn't point it out. That's kind of what's going on here with Elsa, where it's just like, hey, look at me. Look how cool I am. Hey, look, I'm a redhead and I wear orange. Isn't that kooky and crazy? It just is very, very annoying. And yeah, she fights vampires on the jet because apparently these vampires own the jet. And she's too badass to fall for any of their tricks because they, I guess, try to poison her. But she was too smart and clever for them. So she kills all of them and then she decides to blow a hole in the jet and then jump out. And as she's jumping out, falling to the castle, she stays in full color, but everything else turns into the black and white. That's how most of this issue is. Everything is in black and white except Elsa. Elsa is always in full color. And to me, it doesn't work. So a long while ago, I did reviews for a series called Staked. And Staked used black and white with very little color. And when they used color, it was to emphasize certain things, whether it be emotions or certain items. So, for example, that series dealt with vampires. So anytime when we saw blood, the blood was always red. When a character blushed, her cheeks would kind of flush red a little bit. When a character was angry or whatever, her eyes would be a little bit blue to highlight her icy stare. So color like that worked in the black and white. Whereas here, it's just everything's black and white except for her. Everything dealing with Elsa is in color. And it doesn't work really for me because it's not like we're using it to emphasize certain items or certain emotions or certain story beats or tone or anything. We just have her in color and everything else is black and white. So it just comes across as very lazy. Maybe like it would have worked better if you introduce Elsa into color. And then as she's jumping to the castle, everything starts fading into black and white. And you can even have this cool transition as she's like falling through the sky and getting closer to the castle. We see like her design, like getting her colors getting faded and faded and faded until she enters the black and white. Like that could have been like a cool transition scene. Instead, she just kind of pops out amongst everything else. And it very much feels like Marvel's like, hey, let's focus on this character. Even though this issue is called A Werewolf by Night, Elsa's the one that's going to pop out while Jack Russell is going to kind of blend in with everything else. But yeah, Jack Russell is killing monsters in this castle. Elsa is killing monsters in this castle. And then eventually they bump into each other. And then they realize that they have the same goal. And that's to save this girl who was kidnapped by a necromantic. And so, yeah, they're trying to find him and stop his ritual and save her. And we have like just hints that they were romantically involved in the past. And that doesn't really go anywhere. And then they've come across necromantic, and it turns out that the girl's already dead. They were too late, and they're just in time for him to start doing his ritual. So he gets this god king Eldrick whore, who's like the god of suffering and stuff, and they put it into her body. And just look at this panel, and just look at how weird this body proportion is. So here's her knees right here, and just look how far her legs go up before they hit her knees, and then how short her thigh is. Like, are you telling me this is her waist right here? And she doesn't really have much of a stomach. Like, this whole thing is just off. I couldn't stop staring at this. But yeah, we just have, them trying to stop this eldritch horror. I'm not really going to spoil it, but it's kind of lame, kind of anticlimactic. They don't really do anything. Things just kind of happen, and things kind of just fall into place for them. That's all I will say. Like, they don't really save the day so much as circumstances help them save the day. I don't even want to say helps them save the day. They're just along for the ride, and other things happen, and the day gets saved, and it doesn't really have much to do with them. I don't really care for this. Elsa just comes across as very annoying, full of herself, but not like the cool kind of sassy, like, I'm a badass and I know it kind of way that could be endearing, but just more of a please shut the hell up and stop talking kind of way. And then you have Jack Russell, who's just broody, and he even has a line here where he says, he's talking about Elsa, and he says, she is also better than me in so many ways, in every way that counts. I'm like, all right, sweet. We got a Werewolf by Night, and we have the main character kind of taking a back seat to the female character. And he even goes on to say how much cooler and better she is at pretty much everything than him. That's awesome. That's what I want to see in my comics. But yeah, it's kind of crap. The story is just very boring and cliche and just not all that entertaining. The characters kind of suck. I prefer the old school Jack Russell, like from the original Werewolf by Night series that came out in, 70s, 60s? I can't remember when. I did a video on it. That Jack Russell was a lot cooler. Elsa Bloodstone, I don't know too much about her. She comes across very, very annoying. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. To me, it's just kind of a shame. Because I love stories like this. Like, when it comes to comics, I'm not anti-superheroes, but I've always been more of a fan towards like the supernatural team. So I always prefer Justice League Dark over Justice League. I always prefer the Midnight Suns over the Avengers. I always prefer like the more supernatural, occult, demons kind of group over the superheroes, fighting crime and spandex kind of genre. So obviously, I want to see more of this. Also, I'm a huge fan of the original Werewolf by Night. It's been forever since I've read it, but I did enjoy that run. And it was nice to like see him come back, except they just kind of butcher his character. He looks terrible. Like I said, he looks like an ape more than a werewolf. His character is just really boring and bland and just kind of like, oh, woe is me. Which I know the broody aspect kind of fits with the Werewolf by Night, but this is like too much. And then it's basically just like, hey, look, Elsa's so much better than me at everything. He literally says that. And it's like, all right, sweet. That's what I want to see. I want to see the annoying female character be propped up against the lead, against the titular character. And before anyone says, oh, it's just because you hate female characters. No. My favorite comic book character of all time is a female. In fact, out of my top 5 comic book characters, 4 of them are female. So Has nothing to do with Elsa being female, so much as it feels like we're kind of going with that whole agenda pushing. It's not as bad as like other comics have been, but still, it's there. And yeah, artwork's crap, writing is kind of crap. Nothing here is all that interesting. It's not really a fun, entertaining read. It's just kind of boring and cliche and pointless. So yeah, this sucked. There you go. There's Werewolf by Night. Tell me what you think. You agree, disagree? Let me know. But yeah, I would not recommend this. This is a skippable issue. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.